What's going on, people? So, as the title says, you got Unmatched Series 4. And I was looking through some things because I needed to refer to the previous live that I did about these because I like to just kind of copy a lot of the back end stuff and just reuse it because it saves time. And apparently, like I did a video on the Unmatched Series 4, like a review. I mean, it says review, but I kind of doubt it because they're still in the box, right? And this was like a year and a half ago, somewhere in the middle of 2022. So, yeah, I guess finally getting around to opening these things up. It's crazy how long they've been sitting around. But either way, so this time around, I'll show you real quick. This many, so what's that, five altogether? And on the side of it, as I mentioned before, they do have the letters and stuff. This time around, they do spell hardcore. You might be thinking like the math doesn't quite add up. Well, there are two chases in this particular set, so that's where the extra two letters come in. And so we're starting off with number 24. So with the numbers on the side, that basically means that it's going to be number 24 of the Unmatched series, right? So there's only like five figures in this, like I said, but they keep the count going. Either way, where's that knife? Let's go ahead and get this thing going. So it shouldn't take too long since there's not as many figures as the last couple of these videos I did. So I should be able to get in here, talk about some stuff, say some thoughts on some different people and whatnot, and then move on with my day because, well, I don't really have anything else to do. I've recorded some videos, edited both of them. It's been a very busy day over here. And one is uploaded, the other will be uploaded after this. And so those will be going live in a little while. If you're into wrestling things and trail shoe things, then come back to the channel later and you'll see both of those things. So here we go. This is going to be Chris Jericho, right? And he's in his Corazon de Leon thing, which is supposed to be like, I think, the Lion Tamer maybe, or Lionheart Chris Jericho. So there's that. Let's get him out of this ridiculous plastic prison. All right. So he's got this plastic kind of jacket thing going on, right? Lots and lots of colors happening on the back, kind of an Ultimate Warrior sort of thing almost. If I just saw this sitting on shelves and didn't know anything about wrestling, I would think that this was just some generic toy that you could just get for free out of some kind of random machine or something, like one of those claw things or something, because it looks very much just like a generic bunch of nonsense now that I look at it again. And one thing that I also don't like is, does this turn? Like down here on the tights, like the tassel stuff doesn't really add up, or doesn't really line up, I should say. It's not really focusing so much, but just take my word for it. And sometimes some figures have this articulation where like the legs spin just a little bit. I thought maybe these would, so that you could line that up. It does not. So yeah, I remember looking at this figure and thinking, oh, that's kind of cool. But now that I look at it like up close, it's kind of terrible, honestly. So and I actually like Chris Jericho. So what can you do? Let's move on. I'll set him over here. Move on to old CM Punk, right? I'm a CM Punk fan, always have been, likely always will be. Even when all that weird stuff was going on, everybody's complaining about him in AEW, saying, oh, he's a bad guy, he's making everybody upset. I mean, I don't know how true that was. I feel like it wasn't. And because, I mean, no matter where you go, there's always going to be people that don't like you, right? At work, there are probably people that don't like me. There are people that do, but I mean, nothing is okay by everybody's standards, right? So I feel like maybe he was just doing his thing and somebody was like, well, I don't like it. It's like, well, not everybody's out to please you. So here we go. Got CM Punk here. Gonna get him out of this thing real quick. So comes with this microphone, got the jacket on and all that stuff. Let's move him over here. Trying to get this thing to focus, but it doesn't quite want to. So whatever. Either way, you got CM Punk going on right here. On the back end, you have, what is that? Oh, that's going to be his dog, which I believe the dog's name is Larry. And under the vest here, or under the jacket, I should say, it's basically just standard stuff, right? So he does have a lot of tattoos, and so this is going to be all those tattoos. So all in all, pretty decent. And it says straight edge down at the bottom across the abdomen, if that's what you're curious what that says down there. Otherwise, pretty standard figure. You know, it's got the tights on, the Chicago theme with all the stars and the blue and stuff. So pretty cool. It's actually like significantly better than the last CM Punk figure I opened, which was that LJN style thing. So trying to get these hands out of here. Save me some time when I go to bag all this stuff up later. So the standard hands, right? Got the X's on the back ends. Got the drug-free on the tips there. So it's pretty nice presentation all in all. No complaints out of me. But also I'm opening this right after the Chris Jericho one, which, as I just said, was not so good. Speaking of, we have this here news reporter Cody Rhodes, for whatever reason. Looks like he's in some kind of trench coat of sorts, right? There we go. I have the video coming out of the monitor, so it's going to be a lot of glare. But yeah, so Cody Rhodes, right? Like, you know, earlier on in the AEW things, I was kind of a fan of the guy and stuff. And then somehow he just like I don't know if he just got annoying or what, but I kind of just didn't care to see him on TV anymore. So I was like, well, that's something. I mean, good that he's around. You know, he does put on entertaining matches, but it was just like something about the way he talked was sometimes just a little bit much, you know, super dramatic and whatnot. And I was just like, okay, I get that this is wrestling and that's kind of a thing around here, but maybe dial it back just a little bit. But he still does the same thing, and it seems to be going over a lot better where he works now. But, you know, that's just a different company. So, you know, different fans, different expectations. So it is what it is. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with this figure here. Right, so there you go. That's what he's looking like, right? He's got that big weird smile he has, all like overexcited, seemingly. Okay, these things are noisy, man. So like I was saying, he looks like you would see him on like the Channel 6 News, hanging out with April O'Neil, talking about whatever, replacing Vern temporarily, perhaps. So that's what's going on here. It's not as stiff as some plastic clothes can be, you know, like the Chris Jericho thing over there, I think. So you got the plastic stuff up here, and then under it, he does have an actual suit sort of coat on, right? So if you take that off, he's still got the sleeves on. So it's a weird amount of noise coming out of there. So either way, if you take that off, he does look normal. It's just with this jacket on, it's just kind of weird. And then, like I was saying, in the face, he's just kind of like, oh my God, yeah, oh my God, I'm on TV, right? Doing whatever it is he's doing. So there's that. Let's go ahead. I mean, it's not a bad figure as far as like design goes, but it still seems odd. And then the other thing that also is odd because of the articulation down there in like the abdomen area, it's just kind of weird having that split. But you know, it's an action figure. If you want it to move, you got to make some sacrifices as far as like the visual piece. There was a Luke Cage that came out recently, Marvel Legends wise, you know. It was I think it was in the same wave as that Midnight Suns Iron Man and also some Daredevil figures. But either way, they didn't give him any articulation in the middle because they gave him a different vest, right? Like the yellow vest or whatever. And they wanted it to look like it's supposed to look. And the only way to do that was to kind of make him not move so much. So it kind of sucks in a way. If you were looking like pose him in certain poses, you can't. But it gives it a more accurate comic look. So I think that was like a good idea to do, you know. Maybe not every time, but at least sometimes throw those out there, you know, just go for the overall accuracy. So now we have Jade Cargill, if I can get into this box here. You know, as I look at this, most of these people are not there anymore, which is kind of crazy. Hey to you too there, WWE Vibe. So, yeah, like, because she's not around, CM Punk isn't around, Cody isn't around, Jericho is. But yeah, so this is going to be Jade Cargill, right? So, not a whole lot to say about it. Not yet, anyways. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of here. I actually put one of these on my friend's desk at work because I bought like a Battle Cat and a Panther, and I got a John Cena and a Jade Cargill. Because long story short, there was some joke about something how they're like the same person, but either way. So Jade Cargill, ladies and gentlemen, right there, looking at that. So, nothing too much. She doesn't have any like tattoos or anything, which I guess I never really noticed. So it's kind of a plain figure, but it is accurate. So that's pretty awesome. And he says, "Love your content. Keep up." Well, I do what I can. I mean, as you can see, I'm making content right now, and you're witnessing it live and in person, kind of, sort of, but not really. So thanks, appreciate it. So yeah, the Jade Cargill figure, it's looking actually pretty good. I will give it that, right? I do have the Chase one that's the green package and whatnot. It was a Shop AEW exclusive. So it's a shame that they didn't do more with her, but at the same time, her wrestling ability was a little bit limited. I mean, she had a look that everybody could get behind, but that only takes you so far, right? You gotta kind of deliver on some of the other parts, and maybe she wanted more money than they felt like they could get out of her. And the WWE people, well, they have a lot more money to throw around, it seems. So, and they also have their own little like development thing where they can get you all taught up and stuff, make you become some like good wrestler and whatnot. I mean, they've done that. I don't know what all homegrown talent they have. Maybe Baron Corbin, but they do have some people. I just can't think of them. So they know how to do that, and hopefully they can do that with her. I'm just surprised that they haven't started putting her into any kind of storylines and stuff, because I figured, she'd probably be some kind of part of WrestleMania, but maybe that's just where she'll come out for the first time. Then again, Royal Rumble is still just around the corner, and that's often where they really get stuff going. So I'm guessing she'll come out there. Now that I think about it, I'm thinking she'll be in the Royal Rumble, and we'll see what happens from there. Hopefully something good. And now, let me open this up. Try not to talk a whole lot while I'm opening these packages because they make so much noise. Then I have to like shout over it, and I'm not like much for speaking loudly. All right, so MJF, last certainly not least, he is the one of the few people out of this group that's actually still there. Okay, get that out here. So there you go. Much like CM Punk, he comes with the microphone. It's got the scarf, standard MJF stuff, and this is going to be like the purple color. You can't quite see that. Let me get this out of the way. So I just opened up the FTR figures the other day from something, maybe Unrivaled like 12, I think, and they had purple also. So I think this is the MJF to go with that set. And there is a Wardlow. There's also a Wardlow Walmart exclusive that's in purple. But I think there is a white and purple one to go with this, perhaps. Can't remember the details, but I heard people talking about it. Either way, so the MJF here, it's nothing amazing, right? I've seen a lot of, well, I don't say a lot, but I've seen a number of these, and I've seen some that I like a little bit more, whereas he does, this face sculpt seems a little bit off to me, but overall not bad, just, but not everybody's faces come out right when they do these figures anyway. So I don't know what to tell you, but if you're looking at this and you like it, cool, go get it. I'm sure it's still in stock. If you don't like it, that's cool too. There are plenty of MJFs, but otherwise, pretty much just your standard thing. They come out in their different gear from time to time, so they try to keep up with doing that, which makes sense, right? And I guess I'll keep this. They do have a little plastic band around there. That's what's keeping his scarf in place. So I'm just going to leave that there. So real quick, as I did before, I'll do it again. I'll give you these things as far as my favorites from number 1 to number 5, I suppose. And we'll go from there. And oh my goodness, like it's kind of a tough call here. So probably this one, then this, and yeah. Actually, it's not so tough now that I really think about it. So first up, we're going to have CM Punk, because this is just a really good looking figure. I like the detailing that they got on here. I mean, I don't care for the jacket situation, but once you take that off, he looks normal. So There you go. And I just like CM Punk, so that helps. Then Jade Cargill comes up next because this is just a really good looking figure. I feel like it's pretty accurate to the person. So she gets the next lineup. And then because it is pretty well done, even though I'd have to look at these all next to each other to see if this is really like my favorite of the bunch. I don't think it is as far as MJF figures, but not bad, right? Also, since the next things after him are kind of like not so great. So again, news reporter Cody here with his fancy jacket, just not a huge fan of it. I mean, he looks normal once you put him in the suit. Well, once you take this off and he's just wearing his suit. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just not like a big suit wrestling figure guy. So there's that. And then this thing, this Jericho, it just comes off like super generic and it looks like it wasn't even made well. I mean, it just looks so cheap. You ever been to south of the border or like driven past it and how it just looks like kind of garbage, right? And you're like, this is all popular, but it doesn't look like it should be. That's what I'm getting out of this. He's like the south of the border equivalent of this unmatched series. But I do like Jericho, and so there is that. But the figure itself just not so good. So there we are. I don't really have anything else to say, and I don't want to come up with anything else to say because I'd like to move on with my evening and go and got some things to post, like I just kind of alluded to earlier. Got some videos that are going to be going up and at some point by the end of the night because they're all pretty much done. They just need to be uploaded, really. Well, one of them is uploaded. The other one needs to be uploaded. So, that being said, from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Kept this under 20 minutes, which is kind of nice, right? Especially to have had to go and open all these and whatnot. Usually they only get extended because like people ask questions, which is fine, and I answer them because I don't mind doing that. But today I'm kind of glad that nobody's doing that because I'm kind of trying to move on. So, but thanks for the people that did stop in and watch this as background noise or whatever you do with this stuff. I do appreciate that. But now I'm going to go move on and whatnot. So have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, wherever you are. Like I said, got a few things to tend to. So I'm going to go and tend to those things. Later, people.